Everybody wants to play a hero that gets a free Battle Fury, right? Every core player wants to skip buying an item just to feel good.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, it's hotly contested. Probably I'd expect bans to be relatively the same coming into the second game. We will find out shortly, but there it is. Mars,
10
get rid of it.
seconds
Both teams obviously want
remaining.
it, so probably the highest priority.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, Falcons banning it out previous game and this game again as well. So we'll have some of the usual suspects being banned out, but we'll see if there's any
10
changes in that
seconds
regard.
remaining.
Because if it indeed
Radiant
was
team
mostly
ban.
gameplay related, the loss that Falcons just suffered on the hands of Tundra, then maybe the draft doesn't need to change that much. Maybe you just
10
need to be maybe
seconds
more of a
remaining.
Night Stalker puppet.
Pretty much along those
The X
lines.
Factor.
5
The
seconds
previous
remaining.
game we had on the side of the team that did not first.
Dire team ban.
We had Naga, Sand King, Shadow Demon, and Tusk banned out. We already have a change there with Mirana being first phase banned. That was
10
Tundra's first
seconds
last
remaining.
game. We didn't really talk about Sax's Mirana at all.
5 seconds remaining.
solid.
Dire team
It's very
ban.
solid, and it says a lot if a team is banning a hero like Mirana who has not been flexed yet by the enemy team.
Yeah.
They've only played it on Steam.
Radiant
But like we
team
said,
ban.
Ramsey's on the Night Stalker. The first 5 minutes went perfectly well for him. He was out CSing the Monkey King, and when that happens, it's because your position
10
4, which was
seconds
Fox and Mirana in that
remaining.
case, is completely doing his job. He's bullying the
5
enemy carry.
seconds
He's keeping
remaining.
the other support away from you. He's disrupting pulls. He's doing what he needs to do. And
Radiant team
also, just because
pick.
it hasn't been flexed, it doesn't mean that you don't respect the potential flex later.
Very true. And it also means that they don't ban out a hero that we highlighted during the previous Invoker and the Night Stalker, even though I don't expect now to be banned. All right, so we got Centaur still
10
banned out as well as
seconds
Shadow Demon
remaining.
and Tusk. What leaves that in?
It leaves
Dragon
Doom.
Knight.
It leaves Doom and
5
Dragon Knight to the
seconds
pool, but
remaining.
seeing the Centaur ban, considering that Centaur is
Dire
considered
team pick.
counter to Doom, they might just go with it again, and there it is.
I think that means that Falcons don't see an issue with their Doom. They still are confident in it, and they think that what happened last game was probably just internal gameplay errors that are easily adjustable. And if they believe in the idea, then
10
I'm inclined to
seconds
believe in the idea as well,
remaining.
because Amar is one of the players who has perfect
5 seconds
The
remaining.
logic could also be if you do an identical draft and then you get to that 18 pick position, you either don't pick Puck or you pick Puck and then you respect the Night Stalker that we're mentioning, right? And so if they really wanted to, they can just rinse, repeat, go again.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Well, apart from the fact that they won't be up against Mirana this time around.
That's very true, because the Solar Flare from Mirana makes it so that heroes like Doom that want to run in aren't getting hit by 3 ranged heroes with Solar Flare on them, and before you can run in and Doom, you've lost half of your HP. That problem won't exist with Mirana taken up.
Talked about how to increase damage on the heroes.
Radiant
Night Stalker, he
team
increases his
ban
own damage by
in
popping
the
that Dark Ascension, which was a kind of a big deal, plus the Solar Flare. You don't need to be close. Suddenly you have Night Stalker with just like level 1 who has extra 100 damage from these abilities.
Yeah, and the hero that we praised so much in the previous game after the spiel of Night Stalker, boom, the Invoker.
10
and
seconds
this is what is cool
remaining.
with certain teams. They have, they identify playstyles or
5
key aspects.
seconds
And they're not afraid just to
remaining.
pick the hero. And the other teams here, they go, okay, maybe the Kunk is still available, or this is
Radiant
still available.
team
No,
ban.
we saw how good Invoker was in the previous game. Lock it in now and protect yourself from that second phase set of bans.
Yeah, but they only have 1 ban to protect it with.
Yeah, I think it's a bit early, this Invoker. I mean, Thompson is masterclass Invoker player, but when you don't have this... So the idea last game was you had the
10
Solar
seconds
Flare, the
remaining.
Alacrity, all of that extra damage, the Mercy, who was also enabling the
5
carry. At some point,
seconds
your carry is going to
remaining.
be too strong. This time around, you've already lost a piece of that recipe that you cooked.
I think the kind of counterpoint to that is like the control he's providing is always going to exist, right? Like the deafening blast, the tornadoes, the constant nuisance factor will exist. And sure, he won't have the solar flare, but his game will still kind of be the same. Like wherever Doom goes, he follows early on. If you can just disjoint that fight, you can run it. The reason why Winrun is living on like 3 HP is because you have time to just run away from the fight. And that's what Invoker does bring.
Yeah, and we've seen so many fights where Doom doesn't have mana. If he's the one first getting initiated on by EMP Tornado combination, plus any kind of a stun/slow, he's not going to have mana. His
Dire
mana
team
pool is very
ban.
limited, and he also needs to pop the Crimson Guard. He needs to use his BKB. It's all these small things that add up. It doesn't cost as much mana, but still, you also want to use your ability. So 1 EMP on Doom, and he's kind of useless.
What do we think about inspiration taken from Watson?
10
who played
seconds
Invoker on the carry
remaining.
role. Is it something Pure could do?
I think
5
when
seconds
Watson played it, I
remaining.
can't remember what their offlane pick was. Was it Monkey King? No, so they last picked Monkey King to counter the enemy mid laner, and then they flexed Invoker to safe lane. So that's why it happened safe lane. It's not necessarily something you think about, but it's something you can do if you see a better mid pick.
They also had two probably of the best heroes in the game set up the Sunstrike with. They had Nyx Assassin and they had Bane. Sleep or Nyx Assassin having damage, so you can pretty much kill any hero on the map.
They could still do it.
They could, probably will not, but the option is there.
And they also had Nyx because they were playing against.
Yeah, that's
So-
what it
That's what we just.
Oh, okay. I was zoned out. But you don't want to just pick Nyx randomly, right? For Sunstrike.
No, it
that
needs
would
to
be,
be-
guys,
that
they
would be
also had
bad. Because of
Because
enchantment.
of the enchantress.
And they also had Nyx, which was very good in that.
Against
Versus
enchantress.
enchantment.
Dire team
It's
pick.
all coming together. Oh, Enchantress
Radiant
gets
team
banned. But that
pick.
doesn't make any sense in logic. But they do get the Luna. Luna last game did not make it through the second phase of bans. She got banned out there. If we're talking about Mars gearing up to be potentially the offlaner of the tournament, thinking we are at the point where we
10
can consider
seconds
Luna the carry of the
remaining.
tournament. T?
Yeah, I think in drafts and tournaments, it's
5
always good to
seconds
find
remaining.
your core that doesn't destroy the structure of your draft. And Luna is that hero. Like you pick it as long as there's a melee position 5 available. You know your lane's going to be
Pick.
strong. You're going to have high damage of your aura. The game's going to be good. You know, we heard in interviews yesterday the idea of like what can a carry do after your BKB, and it's like Luna is naturally tanky because of the items you buy, the stats that you have. That she can stand her ground, and she isn't as fragile as some of the other cores when you don't have that BKB available.
10
Just having that
seconds
insurance is very
remaining.
strong. And also, of course, you do mixed damage, right clicks, all
5
magic damage,
seconds
based on your
remaining.
spells. University, very strong hero.
Dire team pick.
I like this Rubik
What's
that
it
came
with?
out from Falcons because it covers for the potential Treant plus Rubik that could come out for Tundra, because you don't want to give them a counter pick plus another hero that's like. And it looks good. It's a hero that can displace on lane, so a lift back into a Scorched Earth could be a potential means to run down Luna.
10
Do you
seconds
want to see Treant
remaining.
Protector here?
Maybe not so much versus the Rubik now
5
because you don't want to
seconds
give away your
remaining.
spells, but just some kind of melee body for Luna would be necessary.
I wouldn't mind it.
Still, man, if Whiteman's good, like not if he's good, he is good.
He's
a
okay.
great player. Honestly, to be clear, one of my favorite position 5s. But anyway, moving on. Like, if you don't give away
Dire
overgrowth,
team
the value of it in this game is very strong. But yes, you always have to respect Rubik.
They'll prioritize the Kunkka first. So
Free
far,
calls.
every time they played Luna, they've had the Tusk there, but obviously Tusk has been banned out.
It's too strong. It's one of the strongest
Radiant
combos
team pick.
besides Treant Protector as well. This is the other one that Whitemon likes to play. This is another body. And again, how you're going to increase the damage. You have a lot of damage mitigation coming out from Kunkka, and then you have Alacrity on Luna with her aura, plus the ET with the Spirit, so magic damage,
10
physical damage
seconds
later on when he
remaining.
maybe gets the Aghanim Scepter, when he's able to get close to the targets. It's going to
5
hurt a lot.
seconds
Yeah, Luna's the best
remaining.
carry to pair with ET because she has hybrid damage. She just fully benefits
Yes.
from that hero's.
If you misexecute against Tundra, the amount of kiting here is insane. You got like Stomp on the ET to disengage the fight, entire toolkit of Kunkka available, everything we mentioned about Invoker Tornadoes. To get to the Luna, you need to get through like a sea of defensive spells.
It is quite unusual to see Tundra save their port pick for last. But it is what it is. Is there any flex potential on the side of Tundra?
No, I feel like it's Invoker's your mid, Luna's your carry, Kunkka's your
Yeah.
offlane, and enable your supports to have a little bit more information to bring the draft to life. And of course, we already mentioned like the strength of ET with the kind of type of damage is available. All round once your cores have a couple items, Tundra are going to be insanely strong.
Yeah, but that also means that Falcons has a lot of information to go off of with their
Radiant
upcoming
team
pick.
ban.
If they can counter the lanes already a little bit better, they go for the Razor.
I like this approach because for Tundra, there is a weakness in after their laning phase, they don't really bring explosive damage, right? Luna still wants to farm, ET kind of makes stacks and protects areas. You can amp up other heroes, but same thing for Kunkka. He
10
wants to amp up
seconds
other heroes early on.
remaining.
Hard lane now for this Kunkka in the offlane. I think you need
5
Snap to be
seconds
paired up with you
remaining.
so you can get out of that static link, and it's also going to be extra damage. We've seen the combination with the kisses. I think Falcons will have a read on that and just ban it out because it's too good. you need something to make this Kunkka as a hero. He can creep skip, he can come back into the game with clearing some jungle camps, but the
Dire
lane
team
is
bad.
going to be difficult.
Yeah, Kunkka's look best with Snapfire, like you mentioned, Lacoste, or Bot Rider or Sniper. Any high damage dealing 4 to capitalize on the X Torrent is going to be what they're looking at. And Sniper gets taken out. He just does damage way too quickly. He does damage faster than Razor
Dire
can deal
team
damage.
bad.
And maybe you can burst him in that duration. Snap's still not banned out, so they could be potentially eyeballing that still.
I completely forgot Omni Knight was still in the pool. So he got removed, and this is all supports that are going to be banned, so I'm thinking one of the heroes that's going to get removed. We've seen
10
Saxa on
seconds
only
remaining.
heroes that at the moment have
Radiant
been
team
banned already, so we're
banned.
going to see him on a new hero that he's played this event so far. Treant Protector now also removed, T.
Yeah, they're thinking that the Rubik's going to be the position 4 here. Therefore, they're banning out the 5s, which then means what's the snaking hero?
I think Clockwork. They need some kind of a
banned
that's
setup.
already banned. Maybe.
It's banned.
10
Never mind.
seconds remaining.
If they could unban the Clockwork, would be really good for them.
5
here.
seconds
His Bat
remaining.
Rider is still in the
It's a
pool.
Dota Plus feature.
We also have seen him play Chen and Sven, but other than that, everything else is banned out.
You can just Bat, Snap, Jakiro, anything that can do damage. Slow down the Razor a bit. What is left on 5, though? Tusk is out, Omni's out, Treant is out, Clock is out, Mercy is out.
Yeah, in regards to so far, it's like
Radiant team
that we
pick.
just mentioned. That's about it.
Yeah.
Ogre. This is the Ogre game. Bloodluster Razor. Get him in. Keep
That
the
would,
fight
that would
going.
make our stat before the match be.
It would make
top
it quite nice, but
We make
Could be time, there's not much left.
I want a melee 5 body that wants to
10
rally his team
seconds
to go forward.
remaining.
And that's why Ogre is the hero.
completely missed. This is one of the
5
few times
seconds
we actually see
remaining.
Dire have overall last pick.
Dire team pick.
And we got ourselves an Oracle.
This
But-
is...
When we were kind of start of this meta, I thought Oracle is going to be much more popular besides Team Liquid always kind of playing the hero, because it's all about these barriers. It's all about buffing up the heroes. This is the hero
10
that has a
seconds
built-in
remaining.
the spell mechanic. So let's say you have Alacrity, you have all this
5
stuff.
seconds
Spirit as well, so
remaining.
he's not going to have that good of a time. It does feel like the spell mechanic is highly valuable. One of the reasons why Shadow Demon is pretty much banned in every game.
It punishes Tundra's lack of finding the backline.
Mm.
Like their entire draft is built around kind of pushing a hero forward and protecting once they jump you. If you don't jump them, then
Choose your
of course
hero.
Oracle's going to thrive. So I like the pick just because you're seeing what your opponent has. And for Falcons, from lane like Maureen, connect with the Razor, take fight, get a BKB on Razor, take a fight. It's a lot of go, a lot of fight, and yeah, Tundra's going to have to see through that aggression to get online in this game.
I think this Oracle pick brings a lot to the table. Like, if you look at Invoker, it's not a hero that plays for rune security as much as Pango does. It can send out Fort Spirits to deny. It'll bring in its supports, maybe. But if Pango already knows where the rune is going to be and can just bring +1 support to secure it, then they will have the tempo and momentum, because this Pango is going to play heavily on the side lanes, because he has 2 strong kill potential with Razor on one lane and Rubik Doom on another. Whichever lane he
10
chooses to rotate to with
seconds
a power rune
remaining.
should turn into a kill. Whereas Tundra are going to be playing a lot slower because they
5
don't have that kind of
seconds
rune control
remaining.
on their own team, and they don't have that kind of explosive damage up until Luna gets one item, comes out of the jungle minute 20. So Falcons have drafted really scary tempo, and on top of that, Oracle dispels a lot of spells that Tundra are doing. Even this Willow that came out last is counterpicked by Oracle.
All right, what are we thinking? Lacoste, Falcons and E going to take it?
Oh, I think we're going to go to game 3.
Okay.
I feel like Tundra is a bit too slow. Team Falcons, they do have a draft that's going to come online super early on. And everybody on side of Tundra, like Kunkka, his presence, he needs an item. He's Blade Mail into something else, into Aura. Luna, she needs 2-3 items to be comfortable coming into a fight. Same goes for this Invoker. So I feel like it's going to be much on the slower side. And I think Falcons take.
Let's find out if Tundra can surprise my panel, or if Falcons will indeed force out that third game of this best-of-3 series for top 6 here at the Road to the International. We're heading over to the game, but first, some words from Coach Moon Meander.
Indeed, Shiva, I am here with Moon Meander, coach of Tundra. Moon, you must have been delighted with Game 1, and you're happy with draft for Game 2.
Yes, Thompson Invoker. Super happy.
Yeah, that's all it is. I asked Howie the same question I'm going to ask you. When you guys were teammates back in 2018 in Chaos Esports, he described you as an emotional man. How would you describe him?
Boring, mundane.
Boring and mundane. Interesting. Okay. You said in an interview about a month before TI, you said that what motivates your team
Prepare
is
for
ego.
battle!
Do you stand by that?
100%. We play better with ego and confidence. We're the best. And
Okay, well, you've taken game one. Let's see if you can take game two. Let's throw it over to our casters, OD and Fox. Take it away, chaps.
Thank you very much, Ted. Yes, here we go. Getting into the action of Game 2, Tundra versus Falcons. And some fantastic comments there from Moon. It's good to have some banter. I mean, these are the teams, right? There's banter between the players, and now we're getting banter between the coaches.
Mundane and boring.
Damn.
Howie didn't even flame him. Howie was just saying, like, yeah, you can be a little bit emotional. So. I love it. Oh, man. Okay, so this one, and we're up to a pretty interesting way that the draft's kind of kicked off, because I think this is one of the first games where one of the first drafts where I've seen 3 cores picked up initially.
Okay.
Right? Tundra, they picked all 3 of their cores.
And as you were saying,
30 seconds
giving
to
away first pick
battle.
and Radiant.
Yeah, they gave away first pick Radiant, which I don't have the exact stats on it also, but I believe yesterday when I checked, it was like a 70% win rate or something like that too. So definitely something different that we're seeing coming out for them, but a very, very strong heroes. Some lack of initiation perhaps coming into their draft in some points in this game, which I've seen sometimes with these Kunkas as game progressed. But yeah, this looks like it could be pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, some of these heroes in particular, looking forward to see how they play out. What we're getting, like the Elder Titan coming out on the side of Tundra, and yeah, snaking Oracle.
No, it should be fine.
Not going to get anything out of this one.
Very well.
But yeah, I mean, do you sort of agree with the panel? I think they were saying Oracle, maybe a hero we would have expected to see a bit more in this patch and in this tournament.
There's a lot of potential for this hero.
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing, I like what Mira pointed out, especially too, is being able to just get the information where the runes are every single time to get these bottle fill-ups, but also there's going to be a lot of spells that he can block out, these dispels as well too, but in particular, just the Fate's Edict. It's really strong versus a lot of these magic damage heroes, in particular Kunka. Kunka throws his combo, you throw Fate's Edict, it blocks out the boat, it blocks the torrent, it blocks a significant amount, so we'll see how much that pertains, because that was kind of like an old school counter in a way that people used to do, so let's see if the time still exists that way.
Guys, it's
Falcons was able to counterpick pretty heavily inside this game. See what ends up going down because of it.
See if Thompson can have another crazy performance on the Invoker. Did very well in that last game.
He was honestly quite a nuisance. He's not going to have that amp up, of course, of like Solar Flare and stuff like that, where he could be that extra right-clicking beast, but we shall see what he can do.
And how should this lane be for him? Pango versus the Invoker.
Recently, I feel like I've been seeing a little bit of differences. I feel like it can be a little bit more even nowadays, but it depends, because it's just the sustain war that comes out from the Quas, and then the runes are going to be in particular, so it's tough to say really for this one.
And how strong is this top lane? So ET backing up the Luna here in the safe lane as a support duo. Are these two getting chances to get aggressive on the Doom?
You can at times, but I feel like we've seen a lot of these teams just be really good at being able to at least protect the Doom. Even if Doom's not winning so much, the lane actually does look pretty good in most situations, so should be able to.
You see there, win after win from Thompson on his Invoker so far.
I mean, Moon said it, right? We got the Invoker, so very, very happy.
Indeed, if that, you've got to imagine at a point, if that win rate continues to go that way, and if Thompson's able to make the win happen here, teams might have to start considering an early ban on it against Tundra.
Let's be honest, Thompson won TI because of Invoker, in like his first one especially, so it is definitely going to be something that teams have to always think about. We'll see how that top lane. I'm curious about how that one executes. Because this one does feel like it's a lot of like trade back and forth. But then once the ET and the Luna get level 3, I think that's when they're able to kind of dominate this lane. And then you get
so much damage. Or?
It's 2 points in beam, 2 points in the spirit, and you're able to just kind of run these heroes down. So I think that's when it's going to become the most difficult for Falcons up here. But first 2 levels or so, they should be able to do okay.
I mean, because like, how difficult is it going to be for Amar to be left on his own against these two?
Very difficult. I think Crit kind of
stay here.
Yeah, because you can at least do the, you lift them, throw them back, and kind of reset to be able to get positioning. So mid's kind of the one that I'm just just like last game, where I think most people are just staring at this mid matchup because these two just love to push the limits of their heroes. Who ends up getting that Lotus? I didn't see actually. Rubik was able to get that one. Okay, what is that one?
Beautiful art there.
Oh, so I guess this is reminiscent of Thompson's first TI win also, where he's just dropping stickers on people's faces on the on the lane. Very funny. But mid lane so far pretty much dead even.
It's really close.
Yep. So let's go matchup. Thompson, of course, he's denied. We'll have to talk about the
top lane.
Line is top. They actually get
So close to bringing Pure down, but Whitemon coming in with a lovely stomp to hold back Amar and Crit.
Not a bit surprising there. They hit the level 3 first on the Doom, so they had that big explosive damage initially, it looked like. They didn't even put a point in yet, so maybe it wasn't just an opportune hit that they found up here.
Diving for Whitemon.
Still not 3.
I think he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Whitemon underestimating the potential there from Amar and Crit to just dive in and go for the kill. They get first blood from Amar.
Very nicely played, exactly when they need to. These first 2 levels are crucial for them to apply that pressure, and they do so. Very nicely done from the 2 of them here. Amar, of course, getting that kill, so he's going to have boots and a chainmail coming out here too, which could even change the outcome of that lane even more. So very nice from Falcons there.
I mean, we saw, last game as well, despite the loss, Amar and his Doom had a pretty fantastic time in the early parts and got this incredible amount of farm. Do you imagine he's going to go for a similar build this game, go for that phase drum Shivas once more?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure. Yeah. Because it was a very different approach last time. I think so, just because we've seen Tundra play very fast. He'll probably look for something fast-paced. Maybe not strong, but we'll see. How's his bottom lane overall doing?
Saxon and Snaking trying to go for one another, but neither quite able to finish off the job.
So one other thing that was actually pretty crucial for me in that last game is how well Ramses did in that lane, because he was in Night Stalker with nighttime and stuff, but it was a Monkey King lane, which can sometimes dominate some of these melee heroes. This time also, he's not doing that bad. It's a Kunkka versus a Razor lane, and he's 24-2, so all things considered, this lane's doing pretty decent on the side of Tundra, and I think that's why they picked this Willow, because it's got these, blocks to not let the static link build up, so kind of cool. I expected that lane to go much worse for Ramses.
This is almost more fun.
I mean, mid continues to be one of the...
Dead even.
Yeah, that's kind of the most even outcomes that we've seen 5 minutes into a match here. Incredibly close between Mallory and Thompson.
But Thompson does get... it's not like it matters as much because it's an Invoker. He gets the 6 first. It's just a different kind of style because of those denies. Mastermind.
Bringing Crit over. Coming up to the 6-minute power runes, of course. Whitemon for Tundra also going to turn up and try and have the chance of fighting back and protecting this and making sure that Mallory's not able to get the pick.
They know where the rune is going to be, though, since they have that Oracle. So they know it's bottom. Snaking won't be able to get it, though. I didn't see what happened top. I don't know why they...
I could have just got a deny or something.
I think it was deny or lotus or something.
Probably.
I actually didn't get to say which one it was. I was checking the rune. Yeah, 30 CS on the Kunkka. I'm pretty impressed with how
against a Razor lane, right?
Yep.
You got to be feeling pretty happy if you're Ramses.
Yep. I've seen sometimes, yes, Razor's got a lot of nerfs and stuff like that, but sometimes I've still seen some of these lanes be absolutely devastating. He's got almost phase boots with the windlace, so he can just kind of be even outrun it sometimes if he's not with Saksa. So doing very well.
And in terms of overall tempo of the game, nowadays, how does sort of the Razor match up against the Luna, with Luna being as strong as it is?
That's a good question. Luna now fights very early, so I think Skeeter definitely could fall into some issues where if he charges in with some Link, you get turned on from an Eclipse, so that could be some fast tempo.
I feel like the Razor can get burst. It's going to be a lot of it down to Snaking coming in with clutch saves.
Absolutely. Snake is definitely going to be one of the most important ones that we look at in majority of this game. The move's coming from Malmarine first, a quick TP bottom.
The red mist spreads.
So if they can catch Ramses, they can't.
They can't.
Not quite in range of the plasma field there, able to avoid the slow, and ends up meaning that this move for Malmarine's not going to result in much at all.
He's got phase boots and windlays. Yeah, that's massive. Going to be getting level 6 also soon on Ramses. That's a very, very good start with the lane that he's been against. And they read the first movement, so Malmarine's first move doesn't hit.
A slower start. Starting around 7.5 minutes. Just the one kill the Falcons have found. Maybe Tundra can find something here. They'll try for Snaking, but he's going to sneak around the brambles. Skeeter in return. Stellar link onto Ramses, but Thompson coming in with the rotation, and Skeeter's pretty low underneath the tower. Gonna with the cold snap. They're ready to dive this. I don't think there's going to be anything that Snake King can do at this point to save his carry. Skeeter will fall.
And there's 5 heroes down here for Tundra.
They're going to get Snake King as well. Snake King completely surrounded. They come in with this rotation, Tundra. Double kill for Thompson. An incredibly successful movement towards the bottom lane.
Oh, and Thompson tips Malrine. You know, Malrine makes the move bottom. It's not successful. Thompson makes the move bottom. It's double successful.
Absolutely. Now they can get the pressure onto this tower. Very, very good first move here from Thompson.
They have again, a very, very fast-paced lineup that Tundra's gone for. This time maybe a little bit more cooldown reliant in some situations, but overall,
sure,
very strong, and they're still sticking down bottom. Snaking and Skeeter are coming back, but Thompson's still here.
Thompson's looking for the angle. He's able to get the MP down in between the two of them. As most of the mana of Skeeter gone. Further TPs, they need to come in from Falcons. They cannot allow Tundra to get away with this again. Mowing turns up. Thompson, he's already out. He's able to TP away. Again, Tundra definitely having a bit better of control of the early game, forcing Falcons' reactions.
He tips him again because he makes the move and he doesn't get the... Oh, that's... Thompson's trying to get in his head for sure.
Certainly is.
And, oh god, this circus me. I was waiting for people to start doing that one too. Marine, position top. It's seen. They've got this ward.
They're so prepared for these Pango rotations.
They know this ward's here though, but that sentry's actually just out of range as you see there from Snaking. It's just on the cusp. Tundra's prepared for every single move it seems like so far in these first 10 minutes.
And it's costing Maori. You can see him starting to fall behind on the cause.
Absolutely.
Not getting the chance to get that early kill, that early bit of action that he wants to as the mid Pango.
Thompson just constantly ghost walking around. He might get caught mid. They see him for a second. Gets out of sentry range.
Stomp to hold back Amar, and Falcon's not going to be finding anything here either.
The dire structures cannot be hurt.
He knew that they had like a sentry for a second there. He literally stepped right outside the range of it for a quick second there. Could have maybe got lifted and doomed and stuff, but so far, dancing around them again, just like that last game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Stomp is going to connect onto the two of them. They might be able to do something with this. Thompson's coming in from the side. Amar, he's in trouble. He's going to get taken down.
He sure is. And Pierre's actually got the farming build, by the way. He actually only put 2 points in beam. He put 4 in the glaze, which we haven't seen too much, but still, he's getting involved.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Top lane, Maori finally able to find something with his movements, but it is just the support, just Saxtra on the Willow.
They're losing potentially their mid. They have to make the rotation over, it feels like. You don't want to sack your mid tower this early.
I mean, with this shield room, Pure not too scared at all about standing his ground and pushing on to try and find this early tier one. They get the Stomp connection onto Snaking. They'll just focus the objective though. Snaking tries to step up, has to be careful. Pure's able to get the last touch on the tower. Tundra continue to get that much more here in this early game.
Malrine gets the top tower, but it's very different getting a mid tower at 10 minutes in compared to the safe lane tower at this point in the game. It's going to open up the map for Tundra to play even more aggressive. A nice scan comes out. Skeeter maybe reading the movement should protect him here.
War has come to Radiant.
But he doesn't TP too far away. And I think they see that. I think they just saw the plasma field as well with that obs ward, so Skeeter does have to be a little bit careful if he still expects them down here.
Skeeter just having to rush that BKB straight away after the arcanes.
I agree, honestly. It feels kind of sad to have to do so, but there's so much explosive burst that comes out from Tundra, even with an Oracle on his team. I don't know, that feels kind of grim to have to do so.
It's going to take some pretty crazy moves from Falcons, right, to be able to enable the Razor and keep Skeeter in the game. Yep. If it starts to get passive, right, this Luna is just going to completely out-farm the Razor.
He's right on top of Skeeter.
The setup, they've got the splitter coming in as well. Skeeter is able to get out to the side, but the Stomp comes in. The mass TPs will be there, so they won't have the burst to take down Skeeter. Falcons, they're going to look to try and find kills in return. Thompson going for the TP out. Is there anything to stop it? There isn't. Thompson's away.
Goodness. He hasn't even TP'd to base. He TP's to the tier 2, so he can actually ghost walk and continue to look to be aggressive on the map. But Thompson, he's just being such a nuisance. He's even going to take away the rune.
And TPs are coming in. They want to try and take Snaking down. Sunstrike's coming in. Snaking in a lot of trouble as Ramses has got the control with the X mark into the torrent. They'll slowly but surely take Snaking down and get another kill for Thompson, dominating at 12 minutes in.
He's all 4 of their kills. He's everywhere on the map. He really is just starting to feel in himself massively. That is some crazy stuff coming out from him. And Ramses, you know, we talked about how good his game is in a Razor lane. He is almost the top net worth as this Kunkka, and he almost has an Orchid finished up. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think considering sort of the way he was targeted in the draft in game 1, and then the lane, the situation he was given in game 2, kind of against the odds, Ramses he's given a solid performance today.
Yeah, and so far we're not really... yeah, they got the kill top with Crit and with Amar, but so far Crit's not able to get like a nice spell he can steal to make some moves around. So far it's Tundra dictating the pace. Falcons is getting some farm and stuff like that, but this Luna is going to start... feels like it's going to start catapulting forward ahead of that Razor.
Yeah, exactly. Because how on earth do you keep up as a Razor?
You have to spam your ult. You have to ult every single time it's up to farm these creep camps. But still difficult to keep up with the Luna.
Mágico, os bacões.
So what the move is to be now from Falcons. They're still going to want to try and find action around Malorine's Rolling Thunder. It's not been easy so far though. Tundra does he have very prepared for the approach that Falcons coming at them with?
I think Falcons needs the blink on Malrine to make plays. The initiation on both sides is a little bit lackluster, but Falcons more so than Tundra does lack that initiation currently.
Top lane. Whitemon just keeping Snake King pressured away from Amar. Saxon wasn't able to quite get the opening into Amar. But yeah, that's the blink dagger there. You got to imagine the smokes are going to be coming out. Falcons, they're going to look to try and make a play happen.
They're immediately TPing top. They want to look to fight around here.
There's the smoke up from the two of them. Crit and Malorine ready to get something going with the reveal of the Pango blink.
I believe Ramses has an Orchid already. It is so fast for the lane that he was in. Probably one of the fastest. It's maybe a little weird seeing it from the off lane, not these auras, but they didn't use auras last game to win either. A very interesting kind of route that he's gone for here. Can be very disruptive versus the Pango or the Doom on their initial go.
Started ahead up there, but I believe the smoke dispelled on Marine with Topson being in the neighborhood, and Topson's going to know that Blink's online, so Falcons aren't going to get that surprise play that they hoped for. Falcons, definitely the pressure on them to make something happen. These passive moments, it's only going to be great news for Pure on his Luna.
100%. Yeah, Skeeter, the BKB is going to be coming in like, what, 1,000 gold, but you can already see that disparity between him and the Luna starting to grow.
Yeah, it's got to be get the BKB and look for a fight. And if they don't find that fight, I don't know what the backup plan is for Falcons. It's going to get difficult.
I'm kind of there with you, to be honest, because of how big they are on the three cores on the side of Tundra so far. They're just playing this beautifully. And Pure, I would say he's a bit more enabled, right? Compared to the Razor, yes, you've got the backup of Oracle, but Pure's going to have Alacrity. He's going to have Rum buffs. He's going to have the ET Aura that's also amplifying him inside of these team fights, so... see what Falcons looks to do and if they can get some of these catches.
As soon as I have the blink on Amar.
Okay, so maybe with the double blinks plus BKB,
that's the time.
That's going to be the timing to find something, because yeah, this feels like Tundra, they're very happy with the game state. So cube steal.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Only that level 1 Exort, of course, at this point in the game, so very threatening.
War has come to Radiant's bottom tower.
The amount of farm that Tundra's getting. Being able to be kept up with by Falcons. Mosquito with this stack will have the BKB gold.
So they'll have the timing. So yeah, Blink, Amar, it's done. BKB Raise about to be done, and Blink Pango. Let's see where they look to go with this one. Because the lanes are kind of not in a great position to kind of just immediately like smoke and go for something. Top lane's in an okay spot, but bottom is super shoved in. Mid also shoved in from the Manta illusions too, so... seeing both fourth positions on both sides though, they're buying Solar Crest just to be able to amp up their core. But that means even more. I mean, yeah, you're just going to have so many different buff ups for him.
See if they got the smoke ready here, Falcons.
So clear the mid wave, grab the BKB, and yeah, gotta connect onto something here. It's got to slow down that farm speed of Tundra.
I feel like Tundra's going to be aware that this is coming for them.
Is under attack.
And look at the bottom lane. It's in a, I mean, it's super pushed in, so they might have the information here.
They need a core kill. Finding a support is not going to feel good here for Falcons. They've got to find something big.
I mean, Pure hits the Ancient once and then backs away. It's like he knew this was coming completely. Look at the lines drawn.
They really are a step ahead in this game. It really does feel like they've read the entire sort of plan book from Falcons. They know exactly what Falcons are going to try and do this game.
Hey, look at Saksa is still bottom, hitting these creeps. He's clearing these creep waves at a tier 2, so that's giving massive amounts of information. They're like, Falcons is looking to make a move, and it ain't on me bottom.
Put them out of their misery.
CMR.
Oh, I'm up. He might find a chance for a quick kill on Whitemon. Yeah, he'll happily drop down the Doom for this. But the question is if Thompson wants to try and do something in return. He's actually TPing space to allow him to TP out. I think Thompson's just done it. Able to make sure that not even Whitemon goes down here.
And that's a big cooldown use. Now Tundra can actually look to fight back themselves, or potentially maybe look for some type of like Roshan forcing or something like that, it feels like. They do a very strong teamfight Wombo combo, and now without a Doom and a Solar Crest on the Dark Willow, they can look to get aggressive themselves. A 4K lead just growing, the XP just is growing, all in favor of Tundra.
Yeah, these timings from Falcons, they've just not been able to get much done with it. The blink on the Pango, the BKBs, they haven't found any sort of move off the back of them successfully.
And Tops, I mean, he's just being... He just walks up, he sees one of these, either the Pango or the Doom, and he just throws EMPs onto them.
They're looking at Ramses, but he's a beefy target.
Radiant's
very close to having the Aghanims as well on Kunkka.
Scary to go for the Kunkka too when you don't see the ET and the Invoker. They have so many different ways of counter-initiating. Tier 2 bottom is dropping.
To Radiant's bottom tower.
And that gap between the carries only continuing to grow.
Bottom tower has been laid
Everything
low.
looking up for Tundra so far.
And in 1 minute, Roche is going to shift its way down toward bottom. And the question I think for me is really going to be is Falcons going to be able to contest that Roche that I believe Tundra can just force the issue of.
Yeah.
And their team fight is terrifying around that Roche pit. Aghanim's nearly finished for Ramses. 2 to 4, this is... We're back to one of those, like, last game we had, what, 30 kills?
Yeah, we had a crazy
by now,
last game. Yeah.
This one, things have slowed down, and
Absolutely.
it just feels like it's favoring Tundra because of that. Look at this Luna, 3,000 ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take from Falcons to shake up the progress of this game.
It's not just 3,000 ahead, he's 3.5 levels ahead of Skitter, too. Pretty absurd.
Like, I guess their best plan as a team fight is just snaking, being able to keep Skeeter alive long enough to get like a full static link off.
But there's
Luna.
there's so much hybrid damage too.
Everyone else is going to sort of die in the process, it feels, in that team fight. They're just not going to have the survivability against the damage that Tundra as a unit could just kick out.
I mean, they're going to have to do some type of crazy initiations where they know where the ET is, they kind of see where the Kunkka is, don't let him get this boat off. Quite so complicated for Falcons. I mean, they're smoking again and trying to find opportunities.
Here we go.
Tundra now, Ramses, he's got his Aghanims also done. So an extra layer they're going to have to go through in these fights too.
Got the shard on Whitemon now as well.
Okay, let's see what they can find.
They need to get something here, Falcons. Every smoke so far hasn't been a success. See if things change up now, but Tundra, they're prepared for tier 1. Mallory, he's going to go straight for it. He's in with a Rolling Thunder. Doesn't get the initial connection, though. So they're going to have to go pretty deep.
Nice jukes.
The Tornado's there. He's able to hold them back. Whitemon perfectly fine. He's able to turn with the Stomp to sleep straight away on towards the Razor. Holding back with the Fear as well. Sax is able to land it, but the false promise comes out for snaking. They've got to try and do their best to keep Skeeter safe. He's still got the BKB if he feels pressured. So they're Falcons, at the least, they're able to back off. They don't lose anyone for that. But of course, they don't find anything either.
They find absolutely nothing. And now Tundra still is poised around bottom to potentially look at that Roche. There's no Rolling Thunder. I think they could go for it.
Into the pit. Absolutely.
Oh, man. That was really nice little sidesteps there from Whitemon, but either way, it felt like a very forced situation. Like Falcons is like, we have to get something, but now it's like, oh man, we didn't get something, and that Roche is just free for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is just top stuff from Tundra. We saw last game in terms of the mechanics and the ruling, but this one, just the overall macro play of the map and the game. It's looking very impressive from Tundra. Falcons just looking a bit lost at what to do when they find themselves in this position, playing from behind. The kind of creeps recovery game is not going to work that well for their lineup. They've got huge issues to address here, Falcons. It's a tough match.
I mean, the Luna is just a massive issue.
Tower is
so much damage, and you're going to have so many of these extra buffs. The Razor overall just doesn't feel like that hero that can scale in the same terms anymore versus the Luna, especially if you're behind. And he's just falling further and further behind.
top tower is under
ET Spirit kind of baiting them. They maybe thought it was a hero coming through. Gotcha.
And Whitemon sending it through, getting that some of those buffs as it sweeps across the map.
All right, Malrine does have a pipe, so he is kind of putting that like off lane from the mid lane. He's trying to find some ways to protect, but there's so much hybrid damage as we were mentioning.
Thompson, seeing what he can poke out of him there. Got the X mark as well onto Malrine. He's, as you say, pretty tanky with the pipe. There isn't a false promise available though, still on cooldown. Pure is ready to lead him with follow down. Critical about the telekinesis. They'll get the Doom drop down on towards the Conquer. But he's able to back out of the fight. Ramses Falcons, they've just got to run. Marin had to get false promise there by snaking. Skinner turns over towards Ramses, desperately trying to finish up the job.
This is awkward.
They're split. They've been completely split up.
Skinner's
lose Whitemon.
Skinner's BKB is gone.
And Saxon's ready to turn towards him. Pure and Thompson, they're ready to start chasing over as well. He just got the backup of Crit and snaking here. Pure falling low, jump off from Amar. He's able to get the jump in onto the two of them.
They got Thompson.
Killed Thompson and then managed to take the Aegis out of the hands of Pure. They can get him here on the second line. Pure.
They're not Pure.
Gonna get severe, potentially coming down from Saxon, try and send back Skeeter. No, it doesn't actually catch Skeeter. Skeeter's able to move forward, stay over towards Pure. Pure's got the Hurricane Pike at the ready, so we'll be able to force down to the low ground, get away from them. But not a bad hit at all there from Falcons. They're able to find the fight into the Aegis of Tundra.
That was remarkable. The secondary jump that they get to catch Thompson when he walks in, it does everything. Skeeter actually does
incredible amounts of damage.
Yeah, that was very cool. They got the Doom onto the Kunkka. He wasn't able to get a full reset, and neither was the Invoker, and that was into the Aegis, so very impressive stuff from Falcons, even at that deficit.
A crazy fight from them here. I guess for Tundra, just the way that it starts, just a bit too split up.
Yeah, very split up here. And it was Skeeter kind of able to make Ramses get really awkward, and same thing for Thompson. This was just beautiful kind of resetting and dancing coming out from Falcons. Very impressive.
A good solid Doom as well from Amar, just taking Ramses out of the fight before he was able to get off an early boat. So a lot of time that he had to spend just running away from Skeeter.
Yeah, so split. Look at the mini map, right? 4 heroes kind of having their own fights on the side of Tundra, while Falcons, they are able to just kind of group up and get that synergy better.
Big saves as well from Snaking. I believe the false promise just came up, but back available again in the midst of that fight, allowing him to bail Malrine out.
Yeah,
and Malrine is able to get back straight in there, get a hell of a lot of damage done. Falcons coming in with the execution clutch in that team fight.
It feels like exactly when they needed it too, because that Luna just was continuing to grow. That gold lead's gone.
Yeah, a huge fight for Falcons.
You were doing very well. I'm very proud of you.
Rebuy the drum? Okay, I think so. I guess he'd use all the drum charges that he's selling, then rebuy it or something so he can get the full back. I believe so. Shiva's also done on Amar too, so good ways to be able to jump and get the initiation.
Sexually.
To get that information for his team too.
I'll see if Falcons want to go for it again straight away. They have a smoke ready from Snaking.
That really was a full comeback though, because Malrine's game it's kind of completely recovered now at this point too. He's got the shard to be able to kind of force the issue inside of these fights too. He's ahead of Invoker and the Kunkka now at this point after just that one fight. Skeeter's levels, he was what, 3 levels behind also too at some point, like pretty much right before that fight too. He's only the 2 behind now of the Luna. Their posture has changed quite a bit in this game now just after one fight too. A bit more defensive on the positioning.
Falcons can get away with taking a lot more space on the map now. Those next few timings.
Hey, that was so impressive.
The pressure in on the bottom lane, Tundra, but Falcons won't be responding to it. They want to try and take the tier 2 potentially themselves top. Malrine to deal with the push.
I mean, they're probably feeling like, they really just feel like they're probably just in so much more of a calm state now on the side of Falcons than before.
Yeah, they needed that fight.
Thompson is starting to fall a bit behind here now. Walking around in that ghost walk, I mean, he's 4-1. He's all the kills for his team and stuff, but after that one death, stagnated a little bit here.
Illusion.
So the problem of the amount of farm that Pure is getting does continue. The Luna
during the downtime, right? It does start to rack back up there, but the other cores are not really farming that much in comparison. Oh, we do see Amar. It's a Doom. He's getting that big gold coming in after finishing the Blink and the Shivas right after that last fight pretty much. He's got another 2k gold.
Should be able to find this tier 2 now on the top lane Falcons.
Clever little play there from Sox. It drags the wave so they can get some extra tower damage down bottom.
Just sort of a race for the BKBs now on Tundra's side of things. Ramsey's about halfway towards his. Same to be said here for Pure.
Yep. And Amar also, he's going to be going down that BKB route. And look at the positioning from Sox.
Like cordwood
super deep,
access.
super aggressive. He's trying to get some information, it seems like, and block some camps. I mean, this is...
War has come
could get him killed here, but very interesting move there from Soxa.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Both teams not interested in looking for action before they get the BKBs on.
At the least, yeah. I mean, Amar, he sells the drum, he buys the BKB. So now he's actually got this one. They could look to make a move off of this with Falcons. I mean, this fast is just so crazy, this Devil's Bargain, that you're able to do stuff like this. It's like, oh, he's kind of far from BKB. Nope, he's got it now. And amp damage also onto the Pango, so a very impactful one. They do not have a BKB piercing disabled to try to hold this Pango in place, so if Malorine's ever able to just get these rolls off, they're gonna have impact.
Fire structures can take all the hurt. Radiant
just a little too speedy on the Kunkka. Skeeter's going to continue to chase forward, see if he can find a chance to set up on him.
And I will point, because we do have more downtime too, something interesting. Actually, Ramsey's never mind, getting gone on.
Skeeter's going to put the BKB to continue to commit for this. He's going pretty deep, Skeeter.
He's very deep.
Very deep.
Very, very deep.
Very, very, very deep. I mean, it's a kill, but I think that's at least a tip or a question mark. That was...
I'm just looking at the player cameras. I want to see how anybody reacts off of this.
There was no one near him on Falcons. That's got to be the rest of the team looking at Skeeter and being like, bro, what are you doing?
Ramsey's like, what? He actually did that. he just ran at me.
He just went for it.
All right, well, a bit interesting.
I don't know if you could be doing that.
That was definitely weird.
That's a rough one.
It's 45 seconds without the Razor, and Pure now has level 20, so they could look to fight themselves here. Amar looking for a catch.
That was a very quick blink in return.
They found Snaking in the back.
And they're going to try and get rid of him very quickly. He's having to promise himself. Will be able to save himself for now. Marin's in with the Rolling Thunder, controlling Thompson. But this fight, 20 seconds still, no Skeeter. They'll be able to force Thompson back to the side. They're going to be able to save him. Saxa tries to set up the Curse Crown. It's immediately removed. I mean, that was risky there. I mean, sure, they don't lose any heroes, Falcons, but that's still a Doom down.
There's some wild stuff. I mean, Snaking ends up surviving, but they end up having to use Rolling Thunder and a Doom to kind of bail him out of there. And I mean, we'll see this crazy dive.
It's pretty wild.
I don't think I've seen this in ages. This looked like kind of this pump thing where you just run at someone because you don't like them.
This was a serious case of tunnel vision from Skeeter. I mean, he got the kill.
I can't believe he gets him. That's the craziest part.
Falls. Axe's middle finger.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be doing that sort of move again. I mean, smiles from Ramsey's on that one. Now back in the mid. Push is coming in.
Ramsey's
up to the high ground.
The side grab, he couldn't quite get it. Skeeter charging forward.
And this time he's got the team behind him.
But they don't have the Doom and they don't have the roll just yet, so he's really just trying to put fear in their hearts, and it kind of works there. But Pure will be able to back away. He's got the Conda almost finished up, so his damage is ramping up more and more. 50 seconds till Doom.
Okay. Next
Roche is up. Is Tundra aware of that? I think they are. I think they pinged it out. I think they could probably look to just go and force it.
I think, yeah, they can go straight in the pit and start it.
And they're gonna go Tormentor first. They don't have information of where Falcons is either just yet. They did draw a whole circle around them actually, so they do know where they are. So let's see what they look to go to next. So Pure's gonna reset first. He's X'd up, so he'll be able to come back into the fight quickly. Maureen, Nullifier is done. So at least be able to dispel some of these buffs that are going to be thrown onto Pure. Flip side though, Ramsey's, he now has a Lotus. So they can either reflect this. They actually have quite a bit of things that they can do. The Static Link, the Doom in particular, the two biggest ones I would say that he can get with this Lotus.
Is under attack.
Doom should be coming back up, so Tundra, do they want to look for the fight first or do they just full force it?
Much like cordwood before axe is axe, Dire's top tower
With the speed they take it. Yeah, I think you just go for it.
They saw somebody. As soon as they get any information, they're going to do that.
They do this so quickly.
They clip somebody. And they see that nullifier too, I believe. If they were clicking, which I believe one of the supports, I'd imagine Whitemon.
I think so. These guys are professional.
I mean, Whitemon, we saw he was like a massive sacrifice in that last game. He had like 9 deaths, but we didn't get to highlight how much he actually did in that last game. So, Aegis again now on the Luna.
Dire's top tower is
They do
under
have a banner
attack.
for the push. And in the last game also, we do have to remember, the last game was what? Between a 2,000 or 4,000 gold lead, and then it exploded and the game ended.
Dire's
So,
middle tower
potential
is
for
not
that
what
to
it
happen
used
in
to
this one
be.
as well.
That is for certain.
And just with sort of little clutch plays, once again, like we did have at the end of that one, you know, last time around it's kind of pure getting in with the Lincolns, throwing it down on the tops, and this time around it could be as simple as Ramses, just getting the Lotus out before the Link comes.
Exactly.
You know, if Skeeter's not able to get a successful Link in the team fight and actually build up the damage, that's going to cause huge problems for Falcons.
Like
Sure. You see, Malraine's been hiding the nullifier on the courier the entire time. That word, it saw it in pretty much the entirety as pure. Forcing the issue, Glyph's been popped.
They're definitely set up to be able to take quite a lot here, Tundra. With this Aegis push, Falcons, what have they got?
Oh my goodness. Now as soon as that tower drops, these glaives are going to start hurting.
They can keep doing this X mark push between sort of the X mark and the Lotus availability from Ramses.
So what we've seen from some people is they buy the Yules to stop this, right? So could see that maybe come out from the Doom to stop the annoying poke that comes from this X combo. I see already Crit's got it queued up, but I know that you can just buy it on the Doom, use it, sell an item, blah, blah, blah. You can do all this kind of cool stuff. I believe it was 33 who I saw do that the other day. But Tundra, they're happy with forcing everybody back for the moment. They do have a big wave up top that they do have to address. Maybe they X somebody and kill that wave and then bring it back.
Yeah, they get Thompson up here to clear out a wave or two.
Yep. Maybe send some Forge Spirits as well to deal with the next 2 waves. And yeah, that's exactly what he'll do. So, preparing for all 3 lanes to shove in.
There we go. Smoke time from Falcons. They know that
the wrap.
If they wait for the fight to happen on the high ground, their barracks are probably falling anyway. So if they want to try and take things to their advantage, they've got to get out on the map and catch Tundra by surprise.
The whole other side, though, Tundra is smoked up.
They're very split up. I mean, he's caught by the torrent. He'll get the BKB off. We'll start to get the Standing Link over towards Pure. But Skinner, is he going to be able to survive? He's healing up. He also died. The false promise will save him for now. But I don't think this is the way the Falcons wanted to start this fight off. As Tundra, they're going to be able to run down Amar.
Oh, that was awkward, and they used everything there.
The Doom will end up killing off Ramses at least as well. So if they get a couple of them, this may be enough to slow down and stop the push from Tundra. But that was a risky way to start things off. They try for this wraparound, the split up, but it does mean that Skeeter gets left very vulnerable. Skeeter lucky to get out alive out of that one.
I mean, pushing the limits again, right? The Satanic plus the Paladin Sword heal, just with the Snake King able to get the reset onto him. Saksa is doing some cool stuff. He is blinking past the team fight to try to find Snaking and stop these false premises. Pretty crazy.
Trying to see if he could get a little bit of a setup onto Skeeter there.
I'm surprised how confident Skeeter is here too, when they still don't have any of these ults or anything. He just with the backup of Snake, he feels that confidence. And they did lose their gem in the last fight, so one thing to point out, they did use all their ults, and they did end up losing that one, because I think Amar was carrying it. Yeah, I'm shocked. Like, he's literally like because of this blink, he's blinking and looking for like these backline terrorizes to stop Snaking from getting these saves onto Skitter. So have to keep tabs of that one.
Still a minute left on this Aegis, so Tundra, they can definitely look to push once more. 5 seconds until the BKB's back up from Skeeter, so he'll have that ready.
Doom is back at the ready in 4 seconds, that Octarine that Amar has.
It's pretty much what, yeah, nearly the full butterfly coming out for Pure.
Oh, wow. 60 seconds. They still have their banner as well. Is he going to use it for these catapults?
They're going to try for the setup onto Skeeter. Again, he's got the backup of Snaking. There's a BKB, a Satanic, and a False Promise at the ready, so multiple
Snaking
ways.
stopped in the back line. Are they going to go for anything with it?
Pure, running pretty low, but yeah, that full butterfly is going to be out towards him. Tornado in on towards. There's going to be the wraparound from the side. Amar and Mallory ready to jump forward. They're looking towards Ramses. They'll lay down the Doom onto the Clunker.
They're on
Doom out of the fight. They've been able to take the Aegis out of the hands of Pure. Falcons going to take him down a second time. Skeeter in position, gets the link going, but Thompson's in on top of him. The false promise gets laid down on the Skeeter Pure. He's going to opt for the TP out, and he'll get away back to safety. See if Thompson's having to move away as well. He's on the retreat. Skeeter's trying to do his best to chase, but under the cover of the Ghost Walk. Thompson.
There's a dust. Is he going to get in range?
Oh, he is. He's able to find him, but quick moves again. Thompson turns with the tornado, forces away with the hurricane pipe, lays down the wall of ice, and Thompson will survive. So they get out of there. The only casualty being Ramses.
But Amara, he's finding his target. He's being the difference maker. He's getting onto the Kunkka every single time. Ramses is getting absolutely nothing off every single one of these fights in the last two. Beautifully done. And Doom, it's going to be back up in 40 seconds pretty much as that Kunkka does respawn.
For sure, and I think Falcons overall, they're going to be happy with that one. That was a whole sort of 5 minutes of pressure with that Aegis that Tundra are trying to come in with. Tundra, at the end of it all, only being able to end up getting that range Rex. The melee Rex still down the bottom lane. So Falcons, they make the hold happen.
Yeah, I'm really impressed how Skeeter, yes, with the backup of the Oracle, of course, how he's just be able to stand his ground versus this Luna still, and he's getting close, if not having now a refresher too, so damage is going to go up. Butterfly came in toward the end of it, but he was able to just kind of still stick on him pretty nicely there.
Taking many wounds.
This game is delivering beautifully.
The weakness in Dire's bottom
in a much different fashion to that game. Coming up to 40 minutes, 10-6. It's just a 2k lead difference here between the two teams.
Where are the Lincolns and the well, he hasn't gotten the Lotus off to kind of reflect the Doom or anything like that. Where are the Lincolns now? Ramses either needs to hide better or protect himself a little bit better in some type of situation, because it's now two back-to-back fights.
Radiant's top
that he has been getting
under attack.
I'm going to go for the BKB himself next.
Okay.
But I could see other options being there. As you say, the Lincoln's also going to be very appealing. Or maybe even something like a Shadow Blade or a Blink, right, that allows him to be a bit more careful with his positioning in at the beginning of these fights.
That's true, actually. The Blink could be kind of clever. We'll have to see which route he does look to go, because I think I saw Lincoln's being built by the Invoker, so he's not going to go that on the Kunkka. Let's see Tundra. How they look to mount the next siege. And if they can ever find Snaking. I mean, Sox has tried to be able to stop these false promises, but so far every single fight, Snaking's getting them off.
He's getting a lot of healing out, yeah, Snaking. He's been doing big stuff this game on the Oracle.
Smoke. A ninja gear there from Soxa to maybe try to catch a smoke, but Falcons trying to get an opportunity to find Pure. They saw Pure with the ward and they expect him to go farm Ancients.
Might just get Saxo. He's quick with the blink. He's going to go for the TP out for the Rolling Thunders there. To put a stop to him through the Shadow Realm, they'll take Saxa down.
Man, these are such heads-up plays, and as it's been kind of a lot of this game, just the reads that are coming out from both teams are just beautiful. They saw with that ward that Snaking placed on the cliff down bottom, they saw that Pure was running toward Ancients, so they were like, oh, we're going to get him on toward the Ancients, but heads up play there, Soxa. Tank that gank. Yeah, refresher's done. Hey, Skeeter. Even though he's at a 7k deficit or 6k deficit, he's been able to fight versus it.
Yeah, and he can cause massive issues if he survives and just is able to get these links off on Pure. Just been able to turn Pure's damage against him.
And we're seeing it, an item you don't see too often nowadays because a lot of people don't like it on some heroes, but the Scotty. I mean, this time for Pure,
sure,
it's versus a ranged hero and it's versus the healing, right? So can definitely understand why he's going to be wanting to go down that route versus the Razor. And then he's got a Rapier queued up, so hype's tough. 41 minutes in.
I mean, he needs that serious amount of damage so he can just focus and take Skeeter out before the link builds up, before the heals start getting pumped up. They've got to kill Skeeter off quickly, and at the moment it's not easy. BKB, Manta, Satanic, and 2 rounds of those with a refresher. Skeeter very hard to kill.
And we have not, honestly, Ramses' is Lotus. Yeah, I don't think he's gotten a single spell that he's really Lotused. I haven't seen a Static Link Lotus, a Doom Lotus, almost anything. Smoke now, Tundra, looking to strike. There is a ward here that was placed earlier from Falcons.
This is a good spot for Falcons to fight.
Pure spent his gold, so he is in.
Who gets the jump on who? So far, Amar has been king of starting the fights.
Pure also did get that Trickster Cloak, so quite a bit of evasion. Amar, he's been spotted first.
They're going to try and go in onto the Doom. Amar backing away, puts the BKB, Skeeter charges forward, but he gets held back by the Tornado. Awkward now from Falcons. Marion pops the Rolling Thunder, but the BKB had to come out early from Skeeter. Tundra can wait this out and then go for the fight afterwards. This could cause trouble. There's going to be the jumps on top. Easily Saxon's caught by the silence, taken out. Amar, he found his target. He's found Thompson, brings him down. Skeeter with the second BKB. He's ready to go for Pure's in trouble. Ryder falls out of the side. Pure's going to attempt to TP out the range of the BKB. He'll get get away from this. The Falcons, they get the 2 kills.
Aymar just keeps finding a target. He keeps getting one of these key cores with the Doom. And Saksa, he's trying to go for this like super crazy chaotic play to find snaking in the back, but it's not working. Like Falcons are just, they're starting to get the advantage, it feels like.
I think we saw that what Saksa sort of goes for the jump in, and I believe immediately the hit from the Mindbreaker.
I think so.
Tripped him up completely from Skeeter.
And that was Tundra trying to force the play. They actually got the initial vision of the Doom, but Aymar was able to kind of reset himself around that vision, the ward that they have, and then get the Doom on one of those key cores. Now they're even going to get a Roche.
Falcons closing that lead.
Real impressive stuff. Just teamfight execution is on point. Tundra, sure, you're very far, but as you said, you know, Ramses has fallen off massively. Volker as well, too, Thompson. Super impressive.
Go again for the smokes, but Roshan already taken. Aegis into the hands of Skeeter, and then, yeah, we see here the fight starts awkwardly for Falcons, of course. The BKBs have to come out very early from Aymar and Skeeter, but Skeeter able to back off. I think we'll see, you know, Saxa jumps in, yeah, immediately gets hit by the silence of the Mindbreaker from Skeeter.
I didn't even see that either. You see what Aymar did there? Thompson ran in to hit him to stop his blink, and Aymar, as the projectile's about to hit him, blinks over it and gets the Doom onto Thompson. So, that vision, I mean, we talk about it a lot, how all important it is in these fights, and that one, it was super important for them to get these kind of moves. Now Aymar, though, is quite isolated.
He's very isolated. He's got the BKB back up.
There's a splitter, though, so can't really just TP out.
He's going to have TP backup coming in. It's a great tornado, though, from Thompson catching pretty much the majority of the push them back as well with the deafening blast. The Falcon Comet comes down onto Aymar, so it'll be saved for now. Rolling Thunder comes in over towards Whitemod.
Skeeter takes a ton of damage.
And the Fear's going to catch him as well. Have they got quite enough to kill him off? I don't know if they do, because the X-Mark is in control. Skeeter's getting brought down low. He'll get dragged back to the side. If anything, that might have helped him out. Gets him back under the tier 2 tower.
These beams.
The buyback has to come in for snaking. As Falcons, they've got to do everything to try and make this fight work. Aymar charges in towards Ramses, takes him out through the BKB.
X.
Dyer's
The extended one.
Yeah, to keep himself safe and get away, won't get dragged back by that.
Did he Manta dodge it?
I think put BKB, right? That was the Manta.
He Manta dodged
I think he did. You're right.
I need to go. I think he Manta dodged it in the fountain. Because that was an X from the Rubik, so it lasts longer. So he would have had him to pull him back through the BKB. So I think he Manta dodged it in a super clutch moment.
Nah, that's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Falcons, they've got the lead now. Clutch buyback for Snaking comes in. They know that that was a great point to try and take these fights. And again, Aymar on the Doom, he's such a nuisance. He's doing so much here.
And now he's got another Doom at the ready.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
Both games, Aymar giving us some fantastic stuff on the Doom.
Yeah, this is some unbelievable stuff. Skeeter now with an AC. He still takes a ton of damage from these beams.
He's gonna get forced in. 50 seconds without Ramses.
Hey, Skeeter, he actually has to pop the Satanic to kind of back away. He's kind of low HP. He's got the heals.
That's smart usage here. And then the Doom follow up as well. They've got the lockdown on towards the Luna. Pure's in trouble. He's gone.
He's got by.
So, first ground onto Skeeter. See if they're able to force out the buyback here. Falcons, they're definitely going to want to stick around. Try and get this response out.
Skeeter.
What a burst. You put the refresher.
He's gone. There's no man on Snaking.
There wasn't. He didn't have enough for False Promise. He has now, but he didn't at the time. He couldn't save him.
Pure doesn't have to buy back now, and Razor's dead for 90 seconds.
Oh my goodness. This game's crazy.
This game is unbelievable.
That's definitely going to be quite the sigh of relief coming out, as you say, from Pure. See the start of this fight once more. You know, they go all in onto Aymar. They just can't quite deal with him as quickly as they would hope for.
No, he survives because of Snay. And then, I mean, this is just a fight where it's like these pokes from Tundra, these beams started to add up quite a bit there, but then the Doom comes in from the follow-up, and wow. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a Manta dodge, but we're going to see it at the end of this clip, especially, just to make sure of it, but...
I mean, we saw in that point of the fight as well. They got very close to taking Skeeter's Aegis down, but the X-Mark kind of working against it.
Yeah.
But yeah, see if we can keep track of the timing. I think we do have Pure's inventory click, so actually it's underneath the thing, so we might actually see if
we can get
I mean, you're absolutely right, because the BKB was already used.
BKB was used,
He's
and
back
then
in base.
I'm looking in base, and I saw triple Lunas appear, and I saw the X side. So that is probably one of the clutcher Mantas you'll ever see, but...
Oh,
Correct.
Goodness. Well, we're back down to less than a 1k gold difference between these two teams.
You know, my brain was going to, I was like, oh, did Kunkka respawn and X him to break the X, right? Because you know that other one, but then I was like, oh no, he got the man. So, very cool stuff. And this game just continues to deliver. Double Dooms at the ready. Level 25s are starting to get close for the side of Falcons, which are pretty insane. Pure has hit his, but Amar, once he gets his, it's going to be pretty problematic. Ain't gonna Manta dodge nothing then.
Dateless on Thompson. So if they can find their position in the fights, Tundra, they definitely, they're getting very close really to have the right click to be able to take Skeeter down.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
But they had to keep their distance, and that's something that's not proven to be very easy to do. How aggressive and in the face of the Falcons as a team have been getting in these team fights.
I mean, this game it's really in anybody's hands at this point. It's going to be all up to who gets these big initiations, who's going to be able to find these back lines. Is there going to be buybacks? Is there going to be mana for snaking the false promise? Super exciting stuff. And Pure, I mean, yes, this is where you can't really go for the rapier now at this point. You want to go for the swift blink. I think every time you see these rapiers on these Lunas, it's for the most part a bait.
We've been baited so many times.
Yeah.
So many rapiers have been queued up that just haven't ended up being purchased.
But let's see, Pure, he's got the full Scotty in his backpack. It's a bit funny to see that. He's got the treads in inventory instead.
Now at this point, what's sort of the calls being made by both teams? Now things have calmed down once again.
I mean, Amar has hit 25, so Amar now at this point can go, if I doom somebody, they're screwed. There ain't going to be no more TPs out, nothing like that. So it's, Amar still, he's probably the biggest target that Tundra has to deal with.
Yeah, he's a good doom or two and he can end the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amar has so much power right now.
We'll see if like the Lotus Orbs or the Lincolns and if there's going to be any type of blocks in particular. Skitter has hit 25 also, so now that attack speed steal. Pretty crazy ones that Falcon's starting to hit here. Maureen will show himself. He's also got a Basher now too, and the Octarine, so he's got ways to stop versus BKB TPs.
At Radiant's middle tower.
If it's on other targets, not the doomed ones. Setting up top, they do see Amar for a second here. This is a dangerous position, maybe.
It's a difficult hero to kill.
Snaking's always behind him, too, it feels like. They really want to try for him.
Might at least get the BKB out from him. Well, in fact, Amar, he plus the BKB starts charging straight back. He's got his the Lincolns and the Lotuses, everything being thrown down on a Pure to stop Amar from being able to find a chance to go back in. But Amar just ends up scaring them away there, just runs straight at them.
And Falcons, they're the ones now that are smoked up to perhaps look for the Rego themselves. A Wind Waker also now has been picked up on crit, so many different ways of saving and bailing their teammates out. These moments are tense. It's pretty absurd to me, Owen, that this game has kind of not really ticked over like a 3k gold lead or anything. I think it ticked to like I think 5k was the highest, right? But
I don't know if we even saw 5. I mean, maybe.
It's still crazy. Smoke on smoke. Falcons is going to expire. Tundra has the vision on this bottom side.
They're looking at Skeeter. He is so tanky and he's got a lot of backup. Do they really want to lead in on towards the Razor? They're being careful, Tundra. They know that there's so much waiting behind him.
Scan comes out, they know exactly where they are.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Whoever presents themselves first likely to get jumped by Amar in response.
Got 8 buybacks available. The 2 supports on Falcons do not have theirs.
Will clip him.
Big poke. 1,100 damage just from 1 beam.
Maureen's ready with a rolling thunder. Another tornado. There's the jump. They're going to make the jump straight away towards Thompson. They find the opening. The Lotus will get thrown down on him. They just haven't taken down over the right picks. They'll get the kill. Thompson's gone.
They didn't even need to do him.
Heads over the rolling thunder. They're ready to start chasing down for more. Thompson immediately comes in with the buyback. Skeeter pushing forward.
Under attack.
Pure stay on top of Pure. There's the link going. There's the dude from Amar. They can stay on top of the Luna. Chase it down. Skeeter's building up the damage. Surviving with the life steal. Double kill. Triple kill for Skeeter. He's ready.
Look at him go.
He turns
full HP.
Thompson pulled back for this. He's got to run. Turns with the tornado to hold the
buybacks.
2 more buybacks to come in from Tundra from both Pure and White on Pure. Looking towards Crit able to get up to the high ground with the Wind Waker. Forces away as well.
Can Skeeter get away?
Pure's trying to chase. There's the control though. Throw the Sunstrike out to get them some information, get them some vision. Skeeter into the tree line. They've got to find something with these 3 buybacks, Tundra, but Falcons, they're not letting them. Maori's already out.
Skeeter?
Skeeter They get caught by the stomp. Tundra, they will be able to find the Razor. So the buybacks had to come out, but they found the three of them. Can they get Maureen as well? Cold snap coming in. He's struggling to find the chance to roll up into the Rolling Thunder. Silence as well. Tundra with the buybacks take the team fight.
What, it's 3 at least, right?
3 buybacks. Pure, Whitemon, and Thompson, of course, at the start.
Right. I mean, they got on top of Pure, they got that Doom, but they were able to get these cleanup kills. They're going to look to force the issue to at least get some buybacks.
Okay, buyback from Maureen. They almost certainly can try and get more out of Falcons here, Tundra.
I'd imagine so. I believe Snaking now does have the buyback available also. His buyback is really cheap.
Refresher picked up on Ramses. He's ready to go with the 2 rounds of spells and potential saves with the Lotus.
Right.
This bottom racks.
Bottom
I think Falcons, they'll let this one go. If ideally they don't want to try and expend any more buybacks, so that, you know, Amar doesn't want to spend his 20 seconds until he's back up. 40 seconds might be a little harder to hold out for on Skeeter. Depends how much Tundra go for outside of this bottom area. They're actually going to go straight towards the mid, or indeed if they just settle for the Roshan, both will be pretty nice for them.
Yeah, Roche just did respawn. I think especially now they use those buybacks. Yep. Not worth poking high ground more. You want to go get that Roche. Sure does need an Aegis. Does need that secondary life.
And I imagine that could be pretty... Wait, what? Well, what have we got?
No, he's just now... Ramses now has plus 100 spell AoE, and with that refresher, so... In these fights, these fights are going to be so chaotic.
Who's holding the refresher anyway for the next team fight? Are you giving it to the Luna or the Invoker?
Luna, probably? Does he be in space? Maybe the Invoker's in space? I don't know. Maybe you give it to Luna, his Aegis, and then you swap it in.
Dyer's top tower is under attack!
Next team fight could be pretty devastating for either side with the more lacking state of buybacks. That in particular for Tundra, they've got to be very careful, despite having the Aegis and the refresher shard and cheese.
Maureen does spend his gold on an Aeon disc. Does have to be careful how he shows himself. Of course, he did use that buyback before. He's also hit 25.
He's under attack.
Not afraid to go first there.
They got to be careful. They still know there's vision there.
And with the Roshan being taken, yeah, they're definitely going to suspect that Tundra are set up pretty formidably around this area of the map. Falcons, they'll fall back.
Invisibility. This is really interesting. No shard or anything.
He's getting it out now.
He's getting it out now, right? That could actually... Okay, let me... Oh, okay. I mean, it could be pretty impactful, to be quite honest with you, versus the Razor. And either way, it's going to be all up to just these catches execution. If Dooms get blocked, if Thompson survives, if Luna survives with the respawns, Ramses, especially, I mean, just keeping track of these buybacks, right?
Crazy farm this game from Pure. It's definitely going to be one of the longer games we've had, and on the Luna, no doubt, no surprise that it's been able to pick up this amount of CS, and no signs of stopping anytime soon. We're going to see some crazy numbers this game.
Just so neck and neck.
It really does. It's been a fantastic game so far, which I feel like sometimes isn't normally said about a game 55 minutes and it's only 19-12, but the play and the way that the fights have been executed has been absolutely a joy to watch from both teams.
Yep, absolutely top tier. Saksa is getting close to a pretty big item too. He almost has a Hex, which they didn't really have this kind of instant disable on their lineup. This could be X-Factor things too. You know, if you blink Hex is an Oracle while the saves are coming out, could be impactful.
Bottom tower is under attack.
So they're poking into the base again, starting to go for the tier 3. They're bringing the creep wave in on the top. Smoke's going to be coming out from Falcons. It's a difficult fight to take, one that they don't look afraid to take. Nonetheless, I mean, it's into the Aegis, into the cheese.
They're always trying to look for these type of opportunities to get the wraparounds, right? I think that's when we've seen the most successful fights from them. Amar, he consumed his Aghanims just before. Full slotted. Here.
It's the old X-Mark and push it between the two of them.
He blinks past. Amar is in.
He's going to get in with the AoE Doom. He's in on top of Pure. He's in a lot of trouble. That's going to be the Aegis gone very quickly the first time round. Maori's got control on towards the high ground. He popped the BKB. Tree to town, the boat coming down straight over Wolf Pure, trying to give it some level of protection, but the stolen boat comes out in return. So the buff's going to be helping out Falcons as well. Pure, he's able to separate from Skeeter.
No save on Skeeter.
They've just got to try and kite out the Razor, keep their distance off to the side, and Mark continue to play around Razzie. Pure digs back in, pops the refresher, he's trying to go for round 2, he's got an eclipse Eclipse ready to go. He's in on towards Marion with the damage of the Eclipse. Marion trying to step back, but the cold snap comes through. They've taken out a second Pure with the double kill. Now they turn back towards Gibbs. Thompson's surrounded. You get a tornado off, but Thompson's gone for 2 minutes. No buyback available for him. Second round of the boats coming down on Oskita. Holding him back for now, but no real way to get back in on top of him as Pure backs off. He's a little too low to return to the fight right now.
He almost jumped back in. He had 3 seconds left.
He was tempted.
Because if he gets even one opportunity where there's a stun, I think if he swift blinks in with his ult,
so much damage.
Almost everybody will die. Malrine dead for 90, but Thompson also, as it's a kind of like an equivalent exchange. Both offlaners buyback, both mid laners die without buyback. Tons expended again.
A little bit of breathing room for both teams to reset, assess the situation, see what they want to go for next. Of course, next time round, that Aegis won't be there for Pure. Tundra, they are going to be the quicker ones with the smoke up.
Buybacks are going to start coming back up, though. 90 seconds we do see. Till at least one of them. Pure. Losing track of all of his items and everything, but he is going for his own refresher. I think he spent his gold.
Yeah, he got rid of his treads, of course, sold those.
Yeah, and he buys a whole refresher orb, so... Alright, I mean, definitely can see the opportunities and the possibilities of these explosive team fights ending fast just because of the blink, refresher, boom combos that they've got.
I mean, which team would you say is at more of a detriment without having their mids at this point?
I have no idea. Honestly, at this point, it's who knows.
Tundra approaching the base.
It's pretty big that Crit has the boat stolen, and he still has it, though, I will say.
Yeah, I think that buff coming out and over his teammates last fight did a lot.
Tower has fallen.
So W have to keep track of what he's going to be able to get with that Pure. Just constantly trying to force the issue to get these towers and Raxes. 1 minute until 60-minute items.
Okay. If they get some stacks going at least to accelerate the discovery of those neutrals.
Ridiculous ones we will be able to get as well, too. There are some pretty crazy ones this game. I mean, Mirror Shield can have some pretty absurd effects in this game, I would say.
I think, indeed, lots of Tundra, Pure in particular, is going to be very much hoping for that one.
Yep. I think that's probably... I mean, they're all very good, obviously, but I think the Mirror Shield in this game in particular is probably...
It could be game-winning.
The thing is, though, also, Amar is dooming himself now, though, so maybe not, because maybe they go for a different route, so we'll see.
That is fair, yeah. Amar did play that pretty smartly last time round, just initiating with the AoE Axe doom on himself.
Tundra?
No counterplay to that.
Right around this area, the Midas is picked up for Amar to get that guaranteed neutral.
He's heading in. He's going to have some backup with him. How much they want to try and push for this Falcon? Skeeter's going to get held back. He's going to come out from Pure. He's actually jumped straight out over the one Crit, but Crit's having it out with the wind wave.
Pure showed himself.
The dude gets reflected though, so Amar's going to have to step out of the fight for now.
Skeeter's on Pure.
Ready to get him, pop the refresh into these 2 rounds. The Lynx just tearing through Pure.
No buyback.
Pure's out of the game for 2 minutes now. Skeeter with the damage build up. He's ready to go for more turns with the second link over towards Ramses. Ramses getting chased out. We'll be able to keep his distance as he pushes the 2 of them back with the tidal wave. Amar with the refresher, ready to go for round 2. Drop the Doom down with the Lotus. Puts the... Dooms himself, of course. He was ready for that Lotus play, Amar. Dooms himself. Again, making so much happen with the AoE Axe. There's 4 dead, 3 of them, they don't have buyback, Fog.
Pure spent his gold. He bought the refresher, so he's actually short on gold, unless having to buy.
The question is how much of Falcon's going to be aware of this.
I don't know if
how heavy are they going to go for the push.
But man, the Doom is on the perfect target. Skeeter just gets the absolute full link. They can't reset the position for Pure this time around.
And he's playing it so heads up, as I say. Just going in with the self-Doom. These Lotuses and Lincolns, they don't matter whatsoever. Amar ready to play around them perfectly.
They're going to at least try to force. They might know at least, they know at least that one of them is down. They know that Ramsey's offset.
Trying to put a cat pick in the air, but open with the Hex. They're going to try and quickly burn through Crit. They're able to take him down. That's the Razor gone, but it's an immediate buyback from Crit.
Toxin.
Get away from this. The cover of the Shadow Realm.
What?
No way. Surely there's no way. The Rolling Thunder comes in. Sax's gone, but he does have the luxury of buyback. Just trying to do whatever they can to slow down this push. Give time for the rest of their teammates to respawn on Tundra. As it stands now, is Thompson against the world.
Sun striking the catapult. It doesn't hit. They still have the catapult.
They're up for the push. They're ready to get the tier 3, ready to get the racks, and maybe more.
Skeeter's going in.
They're going to start feeling it soon if Falcons, but Tundra just don't have the buybacks. How much can Falcons get? Can they take everything?
30 seconds.
He's going to do his best with the hole. The blast of Skeeter. He's able to push back the 3 of them, but Crit's able to get the jump in. Tries to get the grab on towards Thompson, but the Linkers is there. Running with the AoE 2. They're closing out with the Thompson. Thompson in trouble. He's trying to get back towards the fountain, but Thompson's gone.
15
2
seconds.
minutes. The tier 4's falling. The fortification's there. 10 seconds until Pure's back up. They're likely to maybe have one more fight in the Tundra, but it will be without Thompson.
That is for certain.
Tier 4's. They're gone. They've got to do something soon, Tundra. Falcons.
Here's TPing in. He's
On the
going to go for it.
Let's see what Pure can do. He's going to go straight over one snaking. He's taking out the Oracle. Now turns towards Skeeter, but Skeeter's able to get the link on. Pure. Onto the French. A big
goodness.
coming in from Whitemon. Sets up the fight to fall into the hands of Pure. The base, it's been defended. Falcons, they have to get on the retreat. They're not going to get the chance to though. Pure jumps over. He's got the setup on towards Maori. They're going to be able to take down the Pygo as well. Tundra hole.
They've got 4 heroes up and there's no Doom for 110 seconds, Owen. And, oh my goodness, an amp damage spawn stop. Pure. The splitter plus the combo, all the burst. I mean, the splitter, I don't even know how much it actually did because I think it was mostly Pure just with the aura.
I guess it was
shredding the heroes.
Yeah, 9k damage from the Luna.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely look very flashy though from Whitemon, getting that angle, getting that connection.
Okay, can they address Pure without the Doom for 8
He's
seconds?
got a rapier.
Can they stall? He's got the rapier.
Oh, amplify damage rapier on the Luna. You base it. It's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, this game is absolutely insane.
Still just a 1k gold difference.
Just a 1k.
Just a 1k gold difference.
Oh man. And we saw how fast those heroes died without a rapier, and now he's got a tier 5 token on top.
So at this point, Thompson really doing everything he can to just buy these extra seconds. Sure, he gets taken down at the end of it all, but he does his job.
Absolutely.
He slows them down long enough in this desperate time here for Tundra when they have the 3 heroes. The most important one is well, Pure Luna. Deb without buyback, the tier 4's falling, fortification used.
They make the call to go for this Roche, so they're gonna have these extra lives. Pure could even sell items and have buyback afterwards. I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 items that he can start getting rid of.
And just good stuff from Pure here. Backs off into the deep part of the fountain, TP's out, immediately finds snaking, the perfect way to start this action off. And as you see, the damage coming out here between the two of them.
Malrine will be able to resell himself away.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Anyway, what are we doing with these tier 5s? What's coming out?
It is the mirror shield on both sides. Both of the carries were able to get that one. I saw Giant String, I think, for Ramses, and I don't think everybody else has theirs just yet. I know Crit, I think, got mirror, but that was all I saw. This game is absolutely insane. Buybacks, offlaners. Now a lot of people are just actually deficit of gold to have these buybacks soon. But the 2 carries, the 2 most important ones, they do have theirs at the ready. That is a big pirate.
Force boots as well, the choice for Thompson, so it's going to be that much more slippery.
Slippery, and he can use it on allies.
I mean, that's the thing.
They have multiple different force staffs to reset these fights as well.
And that's going to be pretty big, right? If he gets the force boots and hurricane pike usage onto someone like Pure, if he's getting focused by Skeeter, he can easily separate and break that static.
Really good, yeah. And now Pure's actually hit level 30, so even more damage. He's got the +1 damage per level. On top of that, giving that to everybody. Game. Still no real tell to who's going to win, even though tier 4s had dropped. Arcane rune now for Pure. That's nice for Whitemon. Seer Stone, distance that he can play. Extra vision that they can throw in that backline too.
Yeah, that's true. Just being able to throw down the active of that Seer Stone, giving them the information they need to blink into the high ground on, as we see him from Pure.
And his cast range on this Spirit and Stomp, like, it's going to be pretty massive to scout the backlines, man.
Yeah, he's going to have a big splitter as well.
Yep. Soxa also getting that. The ideal for them is to try to find that backline, snaking as it's been most of the game.
Well, that's the thing. At this point, do you think you're kind of happy with Pure just blinking in on top of the Oracle if they see a chance to?
If they can, I mean, snaking has not given them that opportunity, really. And he does have Book of Shadows, so another layer of save that snaking also has in this game. The layers are being added.
This range track's gone.
Pure, next, buffed up.
Goes in. He's back out. Maori, he's going to go for the Rolling Thunder. Trying to see what sort of catch he can find, but Tundra's able to split themselves away from this attempt from Maureen.
Whitemon is about to have another Lincoln Sphere, by the way, so...
Just throwing everything onto Pure.
Yep.
They can keep this Lunar alive, get him in on the high ground. They could be moments away from playing at least the Mega Creeps. As if the damage and the speed that they take these down. So that's the mid-racks gone. They've just got one more racks to take care of on the top lane.
Right, just going to shift their way up there to be able to claim that. It's kind of putting the onus onto Falcons to come at them. Falcons He'll show himself.
Okay. Similar to Doom, does
He's
get
Doom.
reflected. This time around, Amar opts to go with the aggressive use of the Doom, and that means that indeed he's been caught out by the Lotus or Pure. Goes straight in the midst of the fight. They're chasing Amar down. Amar trying to split off to the side. They're looking towards Snaking. Ramsey's in with the control and the X-Mark ready to
Amar has no buyback.
The boat's coming in, and indeed Amar out for 100. Crit's gone as well. They can turn in for more. The Rollins on the control. Pure for now. Skeeter though gets caught by the fear protector. Push back. He'll buy back. But Amar and Crit, they don't have buyback available. Pure goes straight and aggressive on towards the Fountain. It's time to push on forward. The Aegis has gone, but they've taken so much from Falcons. And Falcons, it's Skeeter against the world. Tundra, they can keep this push going onto the tier 4s. I think they've done it, folks.
It looks like they have. He's been called.
GG is called. Tundra in spectacular fashion will be moving forward to the main stage here at the Royal Arena, getting the pleasure to play in front of the live audience. And my goodness, the crowd's going to love these guys.